wanted to drive it so you guys can kind of listen and see if you're having the same sound or similar sound to what I'm having. Maybe it'll help you out trying to determine which one is out on yours instead of just trying to replace both of them or all four of them. And I can hear the noise the most after about 40 miles an hour, I suppose. I don't know if you guys can hear that or not. I'll shut up now so you can listen. Try to let off the gas and just coast. But it's kind of like a hum, or the best way I can describe it is kind of like if you ever heard like a truck with like knobby tires, or an ATV or four-wheeler going down the road, kind of like that hum the tire makes. It's kind of what it reminds me of a little bit. But I jacked it up at work the other day and had a buddy sit inside of it and push the gas while it was in drive, and I got underneath it and kind of listened to kind of like the inside of where the wheel is and the brakes and stuff, and put a screwdriver up to the hub assembly, or kind of like the back of the hub assembly, put it up to my ear, put the end of the screwdriver up to my ear, and listen to each wheel as the wheels were spinning. And what I could determine, the noise is coming the most from the left rear, or the driver's side rear. So that's the one I'm gonna try to replace.
Like first I thought maybe it was like some type of an engine noise or something out on the road, and I think you can kind of hear it as we're going down. Impact here. Knock forward.
All right, so kind of see what I'm doing here. Take that bolt out. And that guy's kind of stuck in there, I think. Like everything. All right. Look over here. No. You can see it just sits down in there, goes a long ways in there. All right, so now we got those 4 bolts off on the backside. I'm gonna attempt to get this here assembly off. I'm gonna spray some of this penetrating fluid on it, just to maybe penetrate. I can almost guarantee it's probably pretty rusted on there. All right, so I think I'm just gonna go after it with this tool. Well, I don't know, because I don't know. I just have a feeling that. So I think we're just gonna go after it. with this sear tool. So tool is gonna fit on like this. And I'm gonna thread the nuts onto it to hold it in place. They give you the nuts in the package. The ones you want for the Subaru anyways is the M12 by 1.25s, which is the thread pitch of those guys.
So I get a lot of use threads doing these. So, thread these guys on here. I always want to keep a good tap and die set in your toolbox or thread chasers so you can clean woods up, stuff like that. So it's a good idea. And I think those are 19s. Snug them down a little bit before I start really banging around this thing. Hopefully this comes out of there. I don't feel like spending 3 hours. A little bit more. Oh, that's real good. Should have it.
An eternity later.
Oh, and there you go. Holy cow. Wow. I was looking at all this rust on here, and I'm gonna see if I can clean it up a little bit.
Before I assemble anything else. So we'll just bring it down here a little bit. Somewhat smooth, I guess.
A little bit of brake cleaner. All right, so I'll have to look, but I'm thinking that I didn't hit record the whole time I was putting my shoes back together on this plate. Anyways, I've got shoes back on the new plate. So it's just a matter of, loosening up these or taking these springs off, taking these clips out, and then you can pop the old stuff off. I would recommend taking pictures, of different angles and stuff like that before you take any of it off. But it really only goes back together one way, so, you can screw it up, I'm sure, but at the end, you're going to end up with the same result. So take pictures and just take your time. I don't know. I'll have to look back and see if I actually didn't or did record it. I'm going to throw some grease up on here. So that if I have to do it again, maybe, just maybe it won't be so rusted in there.
Trying. Just lined up there. Just wind around to it. There you go. Start this way. Where's my rubber mallet?
There it is.
Axle's through. And we're gonna have to orientate this correctly. That's the top.
What I'm looking for is alignment through all of my surfaces. So I'm gonna get a drift from the back side, kind of stick it in one hole and start putting these bolts back in. Next one I do, if I do another one, I'm gonna find somebody that has a lift. It's a German torque on these. No, I've got the torque written down. I'll share it with you guys here in a minute. Let me just get these tightened up. Can you see that? I've got other stuff written on it. Just disregard that. Those are 14s. Those four are 63 foot-pounds. And then 140 for the axle nut, and then 88 for the lug nuts. Thread this guy back on. This is just this will just be a temporary torque until I get torque wrench on it. Solid. You can see the old one. I never did get it off that back plate. It's stuck on there. You can see all the rust caked in there. But you can, I don't know if you can hear that. That grinding. So hopefully this was the right one. Otherwise I'll be doing another one. All right, so what I'm gonna do now is I am going to get the wheel, kind of put it back on, drop this down a little bit so I can torque that. So this Subaru emblem is just a cap, like I was telling you. If you go from the back side, you tap it out, and it just pops out. You can see that. Axle nut. Torque wrench, 32 millimeters, set at 140 pounds. All right. jack back up, got the jack stands back under it, take the tire off, back off, and finish up this job. All right. Out of the way. Huh, that's pretty funny. I don't know if you can see this. Come closer. But, where's that camera? This nut where you gotta peen it down is almost exactly in the same spot as when I took it off. So I'm just gonna take a little hammer and a chisel and get that down a little bit more. Or screwdrivers work too. Almost forgot. Wheel speed sensor. Pretty sure that's what this is, but this has got to go back in to its home. I don't know if you can hear that humming right now. This Subaru does it all the time, and I have no idea what it is. It just comes from the back end. If anybody knows and wants to let me know what that is, I would appreciate it, because I've always been curious. I'm assuming it's supposed to make that noise. I guess I could Google it. I'm sure the internet knows. Now, this guy. Adjust this just a little bit.
These bolts back in. That's what I do. So I just got my load nuts by hand. Get on a few threads anyways.
All right, so lug nuts are 88 foot-pounds. All right, we're in the Subaru. Gonna see if this wheel bearing is making a noise still after we replaced it. Hopefully not. I don't feel like doing another one. Go this way. I don't hear anything. So we're going about 55. Doesn't sound like that hum's there anymore. Here's the back. See if we can hear it. I don't hear anything. Wheel hasn't fallen off. I think we're good to go. Well, thanks for sticking around till the end of this. This was my first ever video on doing something. I've been watching YouTube videos for, gosh, probably 10 years now on how to fix stuff. Anything from my car to the dirt bikes, into just like general house maintenance stuff. I've always envied, I don't know if envied is the right word, but I've always, been appreciative of the guys that have spent the time to put videos on YouTube, so guys like me that just want to do it themselves can learn and feel confident enough to take on stuff that maybe not, maybe we wouldn't have, before. But anyway, so I've always wanted to make a video. So this is my first one, so I appreciate you guys following it or listening to it or not liking it or liking it, whatever you want. But I appreciate it. All right, till the next one.